Facebook friends and family. How are you guys doing today? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell per usual on this good Thursday afternoon. It is June the 12th, 2025, and it is 1:43 p.m. here in Detroit, Michigan. We're just getting back from the hospital where Mir was getting his wrist looked at. And it does look a lot better than what it did when we first had to go to Sinai Grace. However, he didn't have his surgery today. He has to have it later on next week or whatnot. In a few days, he has to have the surgery or whatever. And I'm very comfortable with the doctor that we saw today. It was really nice, you know, going downtown. We were downtown at the hospital or whatnot. The staff was very nice in the office. The doctor was very nice. They were very informative. They were good with giving me paperwork, information, follow-up numbers, and all that type of information. It was a good experience at the doctor's office. And even while I was in the lobby and Mir had went to the back or whatnot, I was out there talking to the older people because for some reason we were at the heart hospital. That's where the doctor happened to be at. And even though he's like a bone specialist or something like that. But anywho, so it was a lot of old people in there, a lot of older people per se. And it just reminded me of you taking my grandma to the heart specialist and to dialysis and to every other fucking doctor's appointment she had to go to. Like my grandma used to have doctors. Well, we lived out in Southfield, so her doctors were mainly out in Southfield, Livonia, Novi, and all that. She fucked with Oakland County outside of Dr. Haney, who actually Dr. Haney is in Oakland County as well. So, you know, it just reminded me of taking my grandma to her doctor's appointments by seeing all the little old people in their wheelchairs and whatnot and stuff like that. What?
When you watch Netflix on the TV, is that our Netflix?
No, it's Dizel's.
Oh. Keep bugging me out, bro.
So, it was really nice or whatever. And I have brought Mally and Mari with me because I did that video earlier and I told y'all I was having bad vibes or whatever. The video ended up cutting off because the school started calling me because Mari wanted to be picked up from school because when he got there they was trying to put him in the 3rd grade class again for the day and he just wasn't feeling it. So he asked if he can come home. I told him to stay home anyway. I'm like, you might as well just stay home. You know, it's really the last day of school. Today was field day. I pulled up to the school. I seen the little bounce houses and stuff. I kind of knew Mari wasn't going to really be feeling it. And I knew that I was going to be downtown with Mir. And I didn't want the school calling me. And I was all the way downtown. And Mir was getting his wrist looked at. So I'm like, Mari, just stay home. But he wanted to go today or whatever. He wanted to see his friends. And I'm like, okay, I'll drop you off. I was in Dizel's driveway. I came back to Dizel's house. I sat in the driveway. I didn't even get out the car yet. I was making a video and boom, he called me to come pick him up. And he was like, the dean was telling him, you don't get to pick and choose where you go to class at and blase split. But why in the fuck would a 4th grader want to go sit in a 3rd grade class? You know what I'm saying? So it's already he's supposed to be in the 5th grade. But because he got kicked out of school last year and stuff, he wanted to finish off the 4th grade. And I understand that. He didn't want to jump into something and it probably be too hard for him to do. But now that he's back into the flow and everything, he wants to go ahead and go to class or whatever. He want to be with his regular classmates and regular friends and shit in the midst of his learning process, not with no little fucking 3rd graders. The schools always seem to fuck with Mir and Mari and always want to keep them in the wrong grade and shit like that. But anywho, I went to the school to pick my baby up. And when I got to the school to pick him up, I'm like, okay, you know, you didn't even get to go to class. Just come walk back outside. I pick him up. The school gonna then call me to myself. We seen Amari get into a blue truck, but can you come and sign him out? No, I'm not coming to sign him out. He didn't even get checked in for attendance. And y'all be sending me messages every day that I take my son to school and y'all be making it seem like he don't go to school. So what the fuck do I need to come and sign him out for? I took my ass to that motherfucking hospital. But anywho, I had a good time at the hospital and I was having a conversation with the older people who were in the lobby. And me, Mally, and Mari was waiting in the lobby. And Mari had my phone with my headphones in. And then Mally had their phone. Because Mally and Mari has a phone that they share on the line with the big kids. So, you know, they had their phones and I brought my laptop or whatever so that we could have something to do as we were waiting, because I didn't know, I thought Mira was going to have the surgery today. So I had something for all of us to do or whatnot. But the staff was really nice. The doctor was nice and everything of that nature. However, I was talking to the older people because they was like, yeah, see, that's what's wrong with these kids. They don't know how to go outside and play. They don't know how to do this. And they don't know how to start fires and all this type of stuff. And I just was looking at the lady. One of this lady, and she was a heavy set lady. And she came out rolling her wheelchair. She like, I don't even know how to work this for real. But as soon as she rolled past Mally and Mari, she like, see, that's what's wrong with these kids. All this electronics. They don't know how to do this and they don't know how to do that. And I said, you know, that's so funny to me because she's struggling to roll her big ass in that manual wheelchair, but if she had an electrical one, life would be way easier. And then they was looking at me like, oh, well, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, that's the problem. People don't know how to adjust. Old people be so quick to say that young people, only thing they do is keep their heads in electronics and stuff. But do you see the world that we look in? Open your eyes while we in this hospital and tell me what's not ran by computers, cell phones, and electricity. Every fucking thing. Half you motherfucking old motherfuckers be dead because you on heart pacers and all types of shit like that. You come to the doctor, they looking up stuff on the computer. They using cell phones, walkie-talkies. If you in surgery and you flatlining that bitch, guess what they gonna get on? An intercom. Call Blue! Call Blue! We need help. We need help. So guess what? These kids need to know how to work electricity. They need to know how to work these electronics. And I was like, you look at the day and time that we live in. Cars drive themselves. So you can't be stuck. What you want them to get, a horse and carriage? Or you want them to be paddling like they on the motherfucking Flintstones or some shit? People be so quick to say that young kids don't know how to do nothing, but young kids know how to do a lot. You know why? Because they use electricity. They use electricity. They use electronics. They know how to do shit. And as far as she like, I told somebody to go start a fire. They ain't even know how to start a fire. I know how to start fires. But sometimes you don't have the right shit. If you don't got enough charcoal, lighter fluid, and all that type of shit. But guess what these kids can do? Get on YouTube and TikTok and learn how to start a fire in 5 seconds. So all that bullshit that old people be talking about, I don't care to hear. So let my kids sit patiently on their motherfucking cell phones. But I was explaining to the more understanding older people, like, you know, you have to adjust to the times. And they were agreeing with me as well. And they was like, see, all these people that's messing with Trump cutting off this, Trump cutting off that. And I was like, that's why I didn't vote at all. And then one of the ladies gonna say, well, if you didn't vote, then you voted for Trump. No, if I didn't vote, I voted for myself, to be in control of myself. You people be voting, putting people in control over your motherfucking life and shit like that. And I was saying the presidential election is staged anyway, just like half these basketball and football games, just like the Olympics and everything like that. Who certain people want to win is going to win regardless of the fact. So granted, our ancestors was fighting for us to have the freedom to vote. It's because they was conditioned to think that that's what they needed, when the whole time they should have been fighting for their own fucking rights. But anywho, I like electricity and Wi-Fi and all that type of shit. But guess what? I lived through a blackout too, when everybody's lights and shit went out and we didn't have no electricity, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. And guess what? I survived through it because my grandma had candles. We had put a bunch of candles because we didn't have a grill. She lived in an apartment. She couldn't barbecue when the blackout came. And so did my mom. My mom lived in an apartment. My grandma lived in an apartment. And when the blackout hit us, we went to my grandma's house. My grandma put a pot on top of a plant stand and put a whole bunch of candles up under it. And that's how she cooked our food. So I know how to survive. I done lived when my lights cut off before. The gas would cut off before and me and these kids still fucking ate. Because we gonna go out there and figure out how to start a fire in a barbecue grill. So people be trying to be so funny and sarcastic and shit like that. And I would put an old bitch in their place. And not trying to be funny. It's just that I'm going to bring shit to your attention. Like you rolling past my son struggling, really struggling to get your ass through the motherfucking building. But if you had an electrical scooter, you could be flying through that bitch. Because even my grandma had an electrical scooter. And my grandma, she didn't even know how to read for real. But she knew how to sew. She knew how to cook. My uncle didn't know how to read. He built fucking houses. So it's a difference. But now guess what? Now we got all type of 3D printers, all types of shit. Ain't nobody sitting around. I just was telling them for the example, I'm like, half these nurses ain't go to school for 4 to 8 years. Like nurses had to go to school back in the day. You can go enroll in a program and become a nurse in like a year and a half. You know why? Because updated technology. You used to have to use a cuff to get somebody blood pressure. Now you hook a bitch up to a motherfucking machine. So, you know, technology is the world that we live in. Look at Tesla. Look at AI. You have to be able to adjust to the new age. However, it is good to still know how to do things the old school way for when there's like glitches in the system and things like that. But these kids better know how to use a motherfucking phone or they too far behind. They lost in the motherfucking sauce. So I just was paying attention to things and the things that they were saying or whatever. And I was talking to them about it and they're like, oh, well, yeah. Because what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was like, kids don't even know how to cook these days. They don't do that. My kids right now, they don't cook all that shit that we used to cook and all that. Going to turn the oven on and do all this. Kids these days, they got air fryers that cook whole motherfucking meals. All they gotta do is clean it, season that shit, and throw the whole fucking meal in there, click 30 minutes and go about their business on their electronics, listen for it to beep, and they come back and get a full course, complete cooked meal. We don't do that type of shit in this house because the conditions that we in, it's very much so hard. But when me and my kids be in our own space and we comfortable and shit, Mirror, he's good for cooking. He'll go cook him a whole meal. Mario cook him breakfast and all that type of shit. People just be thinking that my kids don't know how to do shit and that we just be sitting around doing nothing. But they don't admit the fact that they be stealing from us and can't stand to see us thriving on our own. And it be the old motherfuckers of the family and shit. So I was talking to them about that. And I ended up talking to this one man. And I don't remember his name, but his last name was Williams. And he was a nice man. He was 60-something years old. And, you know, we were just chopping it up about certain things. And we had ended up talking about a wedding that he attended for his nephew, but none of the other family came. Like, nobody else from his family had came. And I was telling him, I'm like, well, when I get married, that's how I'm going to be as well. I'm only going to have my kids there because I don't talk to my family. Because my family is just fucked up. And I don't give a fuck about saying that shit. I have a huge family. I have a huge family on my mom's side and a huge family on my dad's side. And they fuck the fuck up. And I don't fuck with them. And I don't hate them. It's just that they family. And I'm me. I was just born into the shit. So we was just chopping it up about that or whatever. And I was telling him, like, well, I understand your nephew and where he come from and stuff like that, too. Because I know what it's like not to have family or to be there for every fucking body. But when you need somebody or expect somebody to be there for you, it's a no. It's a, oh, we couldn't make it. We can't come. We can't. But these be the same people that you was helping or that you was genuine with and shit like that. And I was telling him sometimes it just be hate. And he was like, well, yeah, I got to agree with you. Because he like, my nephew, he sent his family money. He take care of him. He do all this type of shit. But nobody showed up for his wedding. I said, you know why? Because sometimes it be secret hate and animosity. All these people were saying like, oh, yeah, we'll be there. Making him spend his money on food and decorations, a hall, a venue. And all. Weddings are expensive for none of you motherfuckers to show up. But you know what? People plan to do shit like that. It be secret hate and animosity because they never wanted to give you a hand clap in the first place. They always felt that you was competition. They always knew that you were going to be somebody and that why would they want to see you get married? You already successful. You already got money. You already got a good career. You already happy. You mean to tell me you about to get a wife too? That's really how some people's family is. They don't fuck with you unless you down bad or unless you on their level. But the more you try to elevate, the more they hate you. And I'm speaking from experience. Even down to having nothing. I saw how my family treated me when I was just on my own with a dream and a goal that I wanted to see manifest. Oh, she's crazy. She ain't never gonna be nothing. Who told her she could own a business? She didn't even finish school doing it. She this. She got all them kids. She can't do this. But before people started fucking with me, before this fake ass family started coming and getting all up in my business, me and my kids were just fine. And we're gonna be just fine. But I just be saying how people try to defend themselves. And it be the old people who be stuck in their ways. But Mr. Williams, he was very nice. And we was having a good conversation or whatnot. But I just noticed it. And I was enjoying talking to the older people that were in the lobby because it reminded me of when I used to take my grandma to the hospital, was in the doctors and shit, like I said. However, I'm glad I had the conversation because it's always good to see different perspectives from different races, different ages, different nationalities, different religions, and everything like that. It's always good to see how other people feel. But once you see it, then you always have to, it's like a debate. Oh, these kids, they don't know how to do nothing but be on the phone. My kids be outside with the basketball and the football and everything like that. My kids go to school and they actually like going to school. The school was giving them problems. You get what I'm saying? So, and it's not that I don't teach my kids how to do hair and Lex in there doing her nails right now. Just like I was doing mine. I just asked her, can she polish mine? Because I started polishing them, but then I had to get ready to leave. And I was digging my hands in my purse and my bag and stuff, so I messed up the polish a little bit. So I was filing my nails at the doctor's office and taking the polish off and stuff while I was there so that Lex can polish them for me when I got back or whatever. So, yeah, even on my toes, they still look really good. I could lift my leg up. It's getting better. My back only hurt a little bit, like right here now. But still, I still look pregnant though. I be peeing a lot too. Shit, I need to make me a doctor's appointment. But yeah, we was talking and I really was enjoying the conversation or whatnot. So that was pretty cool. But people be worried about the wrong shit. These kids better be keeping their head in some technology. You know how you used to say, keep your head in a book? Well, the books are technology now. You know, we got audio books now. You got closed caption and all that type of shit. Keep your head in a phone when you can look up some stuff. Yes. And all that going to school for 12 and 20 years and shit, that shit is old school. Back in the fucking day. Get on YouTube, get on TikTok, ask Google, ask Siri, and then dig a little bit deeper. And you're going to get that shit quick, fast and in a hurry. You're not about to have to be trying to go through the encyclopedia, go through the dictionary, go read 10 books to find out an answer for something. That's not the life that we live anymore. So all that bullshit that some old people be talking about, no, y'all need to adjust to the times. So, yeah. You know, kids be smart mouth, and a lot of our ancestors was pussy. That's why they were slaves. You don't see none of us being no slaves this day and time, do you? Because we be nuck if you buck around this bitch. Because you're not about to treat me like a fucking slave. You know, so you have to adjust to the times. And I definitely teach my kids to stand up for themselves. They would have never been no slave. We would have never made it back in slavery. We got too much mouth. And not in a disrespectful way, but I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to get justice. I'm going to be victim. I'm not going to be nobody's victim, but I'm going to get victory. So, you know, it was nice having that conversation or whatnot. I really kind of enjoyed it. Even though it might sound like I seem aggressive or something at the moment. It's just that I'm very passionate when I speak. And I was having to defend that. Like, don't try to come for my kids, talk about some they don't need phones and this, that, and the other. Yes, they do. We rely on that type of stuff now. And I use the example like GPS. Almost anybody who needs to know how to go somewhere, they're going to grab their phone and get on GPS. Ain't nobody going to get no fucking map. Who the fuck about to be reading the map? That's just like if you want to get a boat. If you're going a short distance, you might want to row a boat. Other than that, bitch, put me a motor up on this motherfucker. The fuck? Like, work smarter, not harder? Is the day and age that we live in. That's why you have to progress with the new ages and the new times and shit like that. So electronics and kids putting their heads in phones and stuff is very much so needed in this day and time. You know how much shit kids done learned off of TikTok? And me personally, I have a TikTok, but I never strolled up TikTok before. Like, I don't watch other people's TikToks. I've only been on there to upload things. But sometimes my kids show me certain things that they learn on TikTok. And it be the same things that I be learning on YouTube. Because these platforms, you just have to find things that are positive. And when learning things that are positive, you come across things that are negative. So you're going to be exposed to the shit anyway. That's why I'm saying you have to let your kids get on phones. You got to let them watch certain shit on TV, because if you keep it like back in the day, then they're going to be lost in the sauce. So, yeah. No. But it was cool though. And I liked Mr. Williams. He was a very nice man. I wonder, is he part of my family? Because I wouldn't know them motherfuckers if I seen them. Anywho, I really wouldn't do me a weave ponytail. I need to give me some hair. And now I straighten out my hair and stuff. Oof, which I didn't do, baby. I threw this hat on because I was really kind of running a little bit late after I was doing my nails and stuff. And after I took a shower and everything, but then I, again, went to pick Mari up from school, came back to the house. Mally wanted to get ready and go and all that type of shit. But now I need to make sure Mally got some clean pants to wear to his graduation tomorrow. And because they gave them like little shirts to wear and they little cap or whatever. So I got to make sure he got some clean pants to wear. And that'll be that. And shit, I got to find me something to throw on. I don't know what. But anywho, that's going to be that. The big kids, they got them an event that they want to go to this weekend. I don't think they're going to Al's house, but they do got a friend house that they want to go to and spend a night or something. So I'm going to let them do that. And then Mally and Mari, we going to see what they can get into or whatever. But we ain't going to be stuck in the house. I don't give a fuck if I got to walk. It's a difference between me having to walk them to places that are important opposed to me walking them to somewhere like football practice or the park or something. Because, you know, that's not a necessity. If they don't go, it ain't going to get me thrown in CPS CPS being sent to the house and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So, I'm going to get outside with my boys this summertime. I already enrolled Amir and Mari in like certain stuff anyway, but Mally, he's still not 6 yet, so he couldn't be enrolled in stuff like the football and stuff at the moment, not at the location that I was able to choose or whatnot. But I did say that since he'll be 6 on July 3rd, that I was going to still take Mari up there and stuff, and then when we get in there, I was going to ask them if Amir could still join and be a part of the team. I mean, if Mally could still join and be a part of the little program or whatever, because he'll be 6 in like 2 weeks after it start. Not even 2 weeks, like a week. He'll be turning 6. So if they'll just let him go ahead and do it. I wasn't able to sign him up on the computer because of his birthday, but I am going to go face to face and ask. So don't think I wasn't planning on having my kids outside, because I damn sure don't want them stuck up in this motherfucking house. It ain't like it was our house where we was comfortable, we have enough space and shit like that. I don't want to be bunched up in here. But anywho, you know, I'm about to get out here. I need to go get me some more chicken too. I need to get 2 packs today because the kids fucked that chicken up yesterday. They be acting like they don't eat chicken as much as I eat chicken, but they fucked that chicken up yesterday. They had some chicken, some greens, some macaroni, and some garlic bread and stuff. Because remember, I prepped the greens and macaroni on camera that day. It had been sitting in the refrigerator for like 2 days. We didn't eat it. We was just eating little other stuff or whatever. So last night, I cooked the complete meal or whatever, and they fucked that food up. So, yeah, I don't know, but I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. I gotta make my way to the grocery store and get some packs of meat. But, yeah, and then I gotta do something to my hair, or I'll probably even braid it back down so I can put my wig on for Mally's graduation tomorrow. I'll flat iron it out and do everything tonight so I don't be rushing in the morning. Well, my phone died and it needs to charge, so I'm going to end this video. Plus, I need to get me something to eat because I'm hungry. So, again, I'll talk to you guys later. Why Walmart sending me something about new treats you got to try? Grab the latest Reese's something. Reese's? There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. There's no wrong way to save a soul.
You can get some Reese's.
I love Walmart. A great value, and I'm a valuable person.